Hi everyone, welcome back to the Inspired Method Edmonton Business Coach YouTube channel. I'm Trevor and this is my beautiful wife Karen, and we're here today and we're going to be talking to you about 5 must-read business books. Here's a quick quote from Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's. What do you need to start a business? 3 simple things. Know your product better than anyone, know your customer, and have a burning desire to succeed.
I thought that was a great quote.
Oh yeah, that's
famous guy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
A quick statistic from Fundera Inc. Between the middle of 2009 and the middle of 2013, 60% of the jobs created were from small businesses.
And you know why that's so unique? That's when the recession was going on in the States. And that's an American company. So I thought that was interesting. Jobs were being created by people like us. Small businesses. Yeah, the big businesses shut down, then small businesses pick up and they start trying to take up the slack. So That's encouraging. It is encouraging. So to be successful in your business, maybe you have started one or you're thinking about it, we thought we would share with you some of the great business books out there that will help you be clear, help you get a good start, and just obviously you need to always be continually growing in your business, and the best way to do that is by investing in yourself and reading some great books. So the first one we're going to talk about is called The One Thing by Gary Keller.
This book is really good because it helps you to clarify and get clear on focusing on the one thing that you need to do to make your business successful. We've taken this internally in our office with certain clients. Like we've gone through and we said, okay, where did we go off the rails with this client, or what didn't work with that? And what we found was we were getting them to focus on too many things at one time. So we would give them a long list of action items to do between the time we left them to the next time we saw them, and really it was just too many things. And the next meeting they're focused on 3 or 4 things when really you need to focus on the one most important thing. So this book, I can't wait to get into it again and just reiterate it in my own mind so that I can stay focused on what is the next most important thing. How about you, Ken?
Yeah, actually, I noticed that it's a simple approach to productivity. So like you said, focusing on one thing, and that gets rid of clutter, that gets rid of distractions. It gets rid of actually a lot of stress for everybody. It helps you focus, have energy, and success. And the book actually goes into even kiboshing some of those myths that we believe as truths, and gives a lot of good data behind it and statistics, and just really breaks it down, helps break those limiting beliefs that we have about ourselves, and that'll help us be more successful in our business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a great book. I can't wait to dive into it even more and reread it. Okay, the next book we're going to talk about, and Trevor really went in depth reading this one, and he really took a lot of this to heart. He did a lot of live videos around this book, so you can always check out our Facebook page, Inspired Method, to get some of his behind the scenes kind of feedback. It's called Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, and there was another author, Leif Babin. Yeah, so they're both Navy SEALs, right? Yeah, both ex-Navy SEALs, and they both helped found the business coaching company called Echelon Front. Okay. So that's what they do. That's their business, and this is the book they wrote. It's really, really, really good. Extreme ownership is about taking ownership of your life, taking ownership over everything, and not making excuses. That's the biggest problem, is when something isn't going right or we don't feel like doing something, we make an excuse as to why we didn't finish that task or do that thing, why we didn't get up in the morning to go to the gym and work out, why we didn't stick to our eating program, why we didn't make those phone calls, why we didn't get our business to the next level. We make excuses, right? Yeah. And what extreme ownership is, it's pointing the finger back at you and saying, if anything goes wrong in my business or in my life, I'm the one who's in control of my life. I'm the one who makes the decision whether to do something or to not do something. So I can't put the blame on my neighbor. I can't put the blame on my wife or my kids or my situation or my upbringing
or where I was born. I can't put any of the blame on anyone else. It gives you ownership of it. And once you do that, it really opens up your life and your mind just to think that, hey, if anything's going to happen, it's going to be up to me. So it really empowers you to make the right choices. And then I would say combine that with the one thing, figure out what that one most important thing is, and then take ownership of that and go forward. So you should really read this book.
Yeah, I was thinking how when you do take ownership, good or bad, it gives you power. And you said that word, empower. So you can either, own it if you've done something good, or take responsibility if something bad has come because of, if you take control of that whole situation in your life. You can either stay where you're at, or you can scale where you want to go if you take ownership. And without taking that ownership, it's impossible to do that.
Yeah, it really puts you in control as opposed to outside forces. And it's a really, really great book that you need to grab a hold of and definitely read.
Yeah. All right, so the next book is called Good to Great by Jim Collins. You've been reading this one pretty in depth.
Yeah, I read this one. I went through it pretty quickly, but it was a study that Jim Collins did with a group of college students.
21 of them, right?
Yeah, 21 students, and they all did this research project, and they investigated what made these companies go from good to great, and that they sustained a certain level of success over several decades, and what made them different. So in this book, it uncovers, goes behind the curtain, if you will, of some of the biggest and most successful companies that are out there, and many of them are still operating today. So I think any business owner should definitely take a look at this book, go through it, and you can see what differentiates the not great companies from the great ones. One of the key factors, or one of the major things that I took away from it was they didn't hire outside, the companies that went from good to great did not seek outside help as far as CEOs and outside talent to help change and grow their business. They hired from inside the company and grew it up that way. And that is something that is consistent across all 11 of the good to great companies that they looked at. They hired from within and they promoted from within. So that was a major takeaway that I saw from that. And then the leaders of those companies, they had certain qualities. They were, if you go into the book, I can't recall right now, but they're, I think, what is it? Level 5 leaders.
Yeah, level
so
5 leadership.
Very, very good.
Yeah, where you have a disciplined leader, disciplined thought, disciplined action, and it gives you the results. Yeah. And the neat thing of that kind of I saw in this book was how large corporations and small businesses can hold those same characteristics. So you don't have to be huge to get the benefit of the concepts found in going from good to great. Yeah, I thought that was actually really important, because most of us businesses are not going to get huge. They're going to be small businesses. But as you know by that stat we shared at the beginning, that's what helps the economy grow and people have livelihood because of it. You're making a difference by having a small business and employing others in that business. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so number 4 is called This is Marketing by Seth Godin. We use a lot of his quotes because he's just kind of a no-nonsense, straightforward, seems like such an approachable guy just by what he says. So this one's everything you need to know about marketing. And so, Seth's written some really good books. The first one I read of his was The Purple Cow. Right. We should have had that on this list as well, but we'll do that for another list. But in This is Marketing, it really kind of peels back the layers of what marketing should be, right? It's not about gimmicks or tricking people into buying things. It's really uncovering the deepest human needs that we have and creating an offering that satisfies that need. So Seth Godin is kind of like, I don't know, the Dalai Lama,
the Pope of marketing. And just the way he comes across is just so, when you hear the words that he says, you're thinking, oh, that makes 100% clear sense, right? Like,
so simple.
Of course, that's the reason we got into marketing, was because we, really enjoy and get a thrill out of, coming up with the correct messaging, the right product, and the right offer for people to satisfy the needs that they have.
Yeah.
And really, I like one thing that stood out in the book to me was, rather than creating a product and then trying to find people to fit the product, why don't you find out what the needs are and create a product to fill the need? Like, that is just counter to a lot of the stuff that you've seen. If you've ever watched Mad Men, things aren't like Mad Men anymore, where you can just tell people what they need. Again, this is the very best soap in the world. This will, make your children behave. It'll make your wife happy. It'll, you know what I mean? Like all that stuff. And you need to buy this, and it's a great deal, and this is the only one that matters. And just saying that enough times made people buy it. And that doesn't work anymore, because people's attention is very short, and we just are inundated with messages all the time. So making that true connection with another human being on that level is how the marketing should be.
Good marketing, exactly. I was going to say, it's about relationship, what people actually need, and finding out and building that trust with the potential customer. Yeah,
one of the quotes we used in another video was, great marketing doesn't feel like marketing.
Yeah.
Right? If you feel like you're being marketed to or being sold, it's just like, I don't like that. It doesn't feel good. So let's talk about the last one, the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone.
Yeah, this one has a lot of actually really great. This one will just take your thinking and in turn your life to a different level than you ever would have thought that you could go to. Just by using, that concept of what you think you should do, go 10 times that. And you may not get to 10 times, but you certainly won't if you start here and not set your goals much higher. Yeah,
the premise behind it is set goals 10 times higher than you originally wanted to achieve, and you'll probably get close to your original goal, because things are always 10 times harder than you think they're going to be.
Yes.
Like, starting a business is 10 times harder than you think it is. Getting your first client is going to take you 10 times as long as you think it's going to take. Is just using that factor in many of the different parts of your life in order to win and succeed. Because most people, they give half an effort, right? And if they say, I'm giving 100%, it's like, that's not enough, right? Your 100% isn't good enough. You need to think bigger than yourself, and you need to expect more out of yourself so that you can reach at least success level, right? So if your goal is to make $100,000 a year, honestly, then you're like, okay, I need to make my goal $1 million a year so that I can get to that $100,000 level. So if you're putting in $1 million worth of effort, or the amount of phone calls or amount of contacts that you need to do in order to make $1 million, then you'll probably reach that $100,000 level. Like, that's the thought and the process behind the 10X rule.
And some things to think of, because you might be thinking, well, that's just like too crazy. You know what? We live in a great time right now with technology and just all of the tools at our fingertips, no matter what industry you're in. And it just kind of brings you back to thinking that, success is your duty. If you have an idea or you are an entrepreneur, it's your duty to be successful. And so to be successful, you're going to have to push a lot harder, set higher goals, and that will require higher amounts of action.
Yeah.
And you always want to be dominating in your industry, not just competing against everybody else.
That's right.
That's really the 10X way. So we've been to a lot of the conferences, and you can see right in the conference, it is definitely 10X of what any other conference is like.
Definitely.
So,
yeah, there's no doubt about it. And I know that Grant Cardone made a huge impact in my life. And I appreciate all that he's done, and I appreciate all the books and information that he's put out, because we probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for
that 10x pin.
For the 10x pin.
Yeah. That you got. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you have taken something away from this video. Check out those books. You should definitely read them, get them in your library, get the audio versions of them as well, and start consuming them and getting better every day. If you like the content, please give us a thumbs up, leave some comments down below, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And we will catch you guys next time.